everybody. I thought it was time to do some camping videos. We in Alberta do love our camping, and I particularly love it. So I'm going to teach you some simple two-pot dishes you can do while you're camping that are really a little bit exotic, but super simple. So there's a couple of things you need to know first. Number one is have some nice, refreshing cocktail ready. I'm going to teach you some of the prep work that needs to be done because I think it's really important if you're cooking at home or outside of home that there are some tools you need to have, and one is a sharp knife. It's really important that your knife is sharp. You will cut yourself with a dull knife, as I've done many times. A sharp knife used properly will not cut you. So I'm going to start off, we're going to make, I'm calling it Camping Carbonara. I've done some prep. I have some water on to boil, and everything else is going to be done on the camp stove. So 2 pots. But the first thing we're going to do while the water is boiling is I'm going to show you how to properly cut an onion. So the first thing you do, this is a lovely sweet Vidalia. I'm just going to cut. You notice I keep my fingers rounded and out of the way. So they're back like this, and I'm just going to cut the end off. Oh, and this one I'm going to cut more than the end because I've got a bad piece. There we go. That goes to the recycle. So then I'm going to cut it in half and get rid of all of these peelings. Now that we've got the peelings gone, once more, there's a few things that are really important, and that is not cutting your fingers. So the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to show you that you should always, if you're cutting, you keep your fingers almost like claws, so that you're rolling off your fingers to cut. So you don't put your thumbs in the way, you haven't got anything in the way that you can take a slice at. So to properly cut an onion, leave the root on and cut it in half first so that it's lying flat. Then you're just going to simply slide in towards the root, but stop before you get to the root. So I've got 4 nice slices. Then I'm going to slice down this way. See where this is going? So then I'm going to have, with my fingers out of the way, sliding off of there, I have some nicely diced onion. I'm going to move on to the next stage once I finish cutting this onion. Okay, so we chopped up those onions nicely. We dropped them in this pan, so everything else is going to be done in this pan. So we dropped the onions with some olive oil in the pan, and they're just starting to soften up. Now we're going to drop in 2 rashers. So a rasher is 4 slices. So we're basically dropping in a rasher per person. So I've got 8 slices of bacon in here, and I'm going to saute them till they're nice and crisp with this onion. And then while this is sauteing here, then you've got a couple of choices. You can use packaged parm that's already been shredded. If you have the good stuff, shred it yourself and you'll get a nice big chunk of parm. And we're looking to grate about a cup of Parmesan cheese, which we're going to beat with 2 eggs. And we'll come back in a minute. Folks, we're in the final steps here. There's going to be a few little pieces that all come together for the final masterpiece. So if you'll notice here, I have my nice crispy bacon and onion that I've cooked together. So that is the yummy bacon fat. I'm going to add the equivalent of 2 cloves of garlic. These are amazing. They're just basically spices in canola oil. This is the equivalent of, each one of these is the equivalent of a clove of garlic, and they're frozen. So there's 3 cloves. I'm going to add something that normally doesn't go in a carbonara, but this is our camping carbonara, so I can put in whatever I want. And I'm going to add the equivalent of 1 teaspoon of basil. So this is just basil and a little bit of canola oil. It's just going to add a little freshness to something that's a little bit heavy. So I'm just going to stir that up. Oh, I wish you could smell this. It's so delicious. We've got garlic and basil and that lovely bacon and the onions. Now, there's several steps, so I'm going to leave this on low. Then I'm taking a cup of this lovely grated fresh parm. I'm going to add to it 2 beaten eggs. And then I'm going to mix them together, because this will be part of the final magic. So, Parmesan eggs. I'm just going to put this right here by the stove. Now, over here, we have our other pot, which is just a pot of pasta. I use the nice organic. You can use whatever pasta you like. I am going to drain it, but I'm going to reserve. Where is my cup? Should I put this in something? I'm going to reserve 1 cup of the water on the side, just in case I need it. Okay. There's my pasta. You can see a little bit al dente, which is the way I like it. My little bit of water. Now this is where the magic happens. We are going to dump that pasta directly into the pot, and then we're going to turn the gas off. So I'm going to make sure that that pasta is well tossed in the bacon fat, the olive oil, and we're going to add the eggs and parm. And then we are going to toss it. So the eggs and parm get cooked and melted in the bacon fat and on the pasta, making this wonderful carbonara. Oh, look at that. How delicious is that? Now, if you want to, you can add a little bit of your pasta water. Which I've reserved. Make it just a little bit juicier. It doesn't take much. And there you have it, folks. So I'm gonna put the burner back on under it for a minute. We have Camping Carbonara, which I'm going to put on the plates as soon as I give it one quick heat up. So we started with some onions and some bacon. We cooked some pasta, and all we did was when the pasta was cooked, we dumped it in with the bacon, and then we added 2 eggs and a cup of parm. I'm going to add some salt and pepper. That's all we need. So being responsible, we always leave a clean campsite. I'm going to grab this plate. Where is my, here it is. So we don't leave any food lying around. We don't attract animals. We clean up behind ourselves. If we were at home, we would be saving all of these onion ends and bits to put in the compost, but we're camping, so we can't. So there you have it, folks. Pasta carbonara for camping. And remember, if you love to eat, you need to learn to love your kitchen, even if you're camping.